In this video, I'm going to give you the exact step-by-step framework that I use with clients to help them become alcohol-free over 100 days. This is so that you can stop self-sabotaging your own progress with alcohol, feel calmer and more confident in yourself, and start showing up better in relationships, work, health, and life in general. Because if you've been repeating the same cycle, you wake up thinking, right, today is the day, I'm done drinking. Then by late afternoon or early evening, something shifts: stress, boredom, emotions, social pressure, habit, and you're back at it again. If that's you, it's not your fault. Nobody taught us how to handle triggers, emotional spikes, or identity level habits. And most people try to fix alcohol with willpower, which works until real life shows up. And the real cost isn't just the drink, it's time, because you can always make more money, but you cannot create more time. And every month you stay stuck in the alcohol loop, you lose time you'll never get back. Time that you could have spent being proud of yourself. Time that you could spend with the people that you love the most. Time that could be spent building your health, your confidence, and your future. This is why I built the Alcohol-Free Framework program. And one more thing that really matters. A lot of my clients choose to work with me because they prefer one-on-one support. They don't feel comfortable sharing certain things in groups. They don't want to be open in front of strangers. And they want a private space where they can be honest without feeling exposed. That's why this is personal. This is a personal one-on-one coaching journey built around you. And before we go deeper, let me be really clear. This isn't for everyone. This is for someone who's reached a point where they know this isn't just a habit, it's starting to run my life. And you don't want another quick fix. You want something structured that actually works when emotions and triggers hit. Because you're tired of starting again. The real issue isn't alcohol, it's what alcohol is doing for you, especially if you're more introverted. Alcohol can feel like a shortcut to confidence, a mask, a social buffer, a switch off button after work, a way to quiet your mind. But then the trade-off kicks in. Poor sleep, anxiety, shame, low energy, regret, and that constant mental negotiation, the should I, shouldn't I war in your head. That's exactly what Jenny was stuck in before we worked together. A daily loop where she'd feel determined in the morning, then a switch would flip late afternoon and she'd end up drinking again, even though she desperately wanted out. And here's what I want you to hear. You're not broken. This isn't a discipline problem. Julia already understood the theory. She'd read books. She knew willpower was limited. She'd tried different approaches. But what she needed was a system that worked when life got busy, emotions showed up, and that the old pull came back. That's what this program is. So let me introduce myself. My name's Mike Longthorne. I'm a qualified counsellor and integrative coach. I trained for 4 years as a counsellor and completed a 6-month diploma with Andy Ramage, one of the world's leading alcohol-free performance coaches. For the last 2.5 years, I've coached people through structured alcohol-free change, helping them build clarity, confidence, emotional strength, and identity level freedom. And the one thing I've learned from working with clients like Nikki is this: you don't need fixing. You need a framework that fits how your mind works. Because when Nikki started, she didn't believe she could cope with normal life challenges without alcohol. And now she's handling stress, setbacks, emotions with real courage and resilience. This is a structured 100-day journey with me beside you. The program is split into 4 phases. Phase 1 is foundation. This is where we slow down and we create clarity. We map why you drink, when you drink, what alcohol gives you and what it quietly takes away. This is where we use alcohol-free mapping tools like ambivalence work and belief balancing. So you stop seeing alcohol as relief and start seeing it accurately. This was huge for Jenny because it was the first time she could clearly see what alcohol was actually costing her. And once this clicked, the relationship changed. So phase 2 is regulation. Most people don't drink because they love alcohol. They drink because they're trying to manage how they feel. So this phase is nervous system and emotional regulation. This is where Nikki made a big shift, learning how to stop using alcohol to shut down emotional overwhelm and instead pause, regulate and respond differently. And it's where Craig experienced a major uplift, more stable mood, better sleep, and less emotional agitation and restlessness. Phase 3 is expansion. This is where real life changes. This is where you learn to live, socialise and show up without alcohol confidently. Craig travels internationally for events, and he realised he could walk into those environments sober and feel more present, more professional and more confident than he ever had done relying on alcohol. George experienced a huge shift too. He stopped people pleasing and started choosing himself instead of drinking to fit in or keep others comfortable. We use real world exposure and stacking tools here, so you build confidence by living it, not avoiding it. Phase 4 is embodiment. This is where identity shifts. This is where alcohol stops being the thing you're resisting and starts becoming irrelevant. For Craig, a clear sign of this was walking past alcohol shops and hotels, and he didn't even register. The internal battle had gone. This is where you stop trying not to drink and become someone who simply doesn't need it. Everything I coach sits inside 4 outcomes that rise together. This is what I call the quadrant of success. Firstly, we've got sustained alcohol-free living. When George came to me, he was drinking in the morning and stuck in a loop. Now he's alcohol-free, 6 months in, rebuilding pride, routine and momentum. This isn't white-knuckling, it's removing the need. Number 2, emotional well-being. For Jenny, the biggest win wasn't not drinking, it was getting her mind back, more headspace, less mental welfare, less shame. Number 3, relationships. For Nikki, one of the most meaningful outcomes was rebuilding the relationships which she thought were permanently damaged, not by becoming a new person, but by becoming herself, her real self again. Number 4, confidence and resilience. For Julia, the transformation was learning to trust herself again, not forcing willpower, but building evidence. Every alcohol-free day becomes proof you can handle life. So I want to tell you why this works when other attempts haven't. Most people fail because they rely on motivation. And motivation disappears the moment you've had a stressful day, you feel lonely, you feel bored, you feel anxious, you're pressured socially. Clients like Jenny and Craig both experienced something that made the difference. They weren't left alone when a wobble hit, because this isn't just information, it's structure plus support in real life. What you get is 15 sessions, one-on-one coaching weekly, direct WhatsApp support. Think of it as a coach in your pocket. So when the craving hits, send me a text or a voice note and we'll work through it together. Structured check-ins, personalized tools, and a coach in your corner when it actually matters. So let's have a quick but important financial reality check. Let me ask you a simple question. How much are you spending on alcohol each week? Just pause for a second and genuinely think about it. Not just the bottle of wine or the beers, but the extras too. The impulsive top-ups, the rounds, the taxis, the takeaways, the mornings where you can't be bothered to cook, the weekends that turn into an expensive blur. Now multiply that weekly number across a month, then a year. And here's the point. Finances might not be the main reason you're doing this. And it's often not. But even if money was the last reason on your list, from a financial standpoint alone, alcohol can be costing you far more than you think. And when you remove alcohol, you don't just gain clarity and confidence, you gain money back too. So consider this. When you invest into this program, and as a result, you stop drinking, how much would you make back over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? For many people, the program not only pays for itself, but over the next 3 or 4 years, you'll get the money back 10, 20, 30 times over, simply by removing alcohol spend and the hidden costs around it. So to work with me for 100 days, weekly sessions, WhatsApp support, video lessons and workbooks, the investment for the alcohol-free framework program is just £1,250. And I'm so confident in how effective this can be when you follow the process that it comes with my no found value guarantee. And this means that if you go through my program, apply what I give you, and you genuinely feel you've had no value, no learning, no movement, no way forward, you tell me and I'll give you your investment back. Because if you don't believe it's valuable, I don't want a penny of yours. So the real question becomes, what have you got to lose? If you've watched this far, you're not just curious, you're ready. So here are the 2 paths you can take. Path A is you take what you've learned, try and do it alone, figure it out through trial and error. Some people do it, but most people will end up back at day one because they don't have the structure or the support when the wobble hits. Path B is you book a call and we work together. If we're a good fit, we'll go through the alcohol-free framework program, step by step. I'll bring the structure, the framework, the accountability. You bring the effort, the honesty, the willingness to follow the process. And together, we build your alcohol-free identity. So the real question is this: are you ready to give yourself 100 days that could change the direction of your life? If you are, I'd be honored to walk that journey with you.